So, hey, there you are.
Hello, hello.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you doing today?
Yeah, good. I was just saying, it's lovely and sunny at the moment. So far,
Yes,
so good. It always
yes.
affects my mood.
It makes a difference, doesn't it? Yes, we have beautiful sunshine this morning, so that's lovely, isn't it? So good day, good day.
Great. So I'm excited to delve into this chat and learn more about the Calmer Cancer Sessions.
Mm.
But firstly, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, I'd be happy to. I am Nadine, and I call myself now the cancer coach. I used to be a calmer self coach because I was all about helping people relax and be calm when we need it, because we need to obviously step out of the chaos of the world every now and again.
Mm.
And now I'm really passionate about helping people with cancer because I have had my own cancer experience. And I learned that all the things that I was teaching people in the past helped me massively. So now I have this passion to share that with people that are going through their own cancer experience. So that's how I'm sort of evolving and what I'm doing now. And as I say, it is my passion now.
Yeah. Well, yes, I think sometimes a lot of what we do is born out of necessity, isn't it? I think, I came into my journey from a sort of very sort of low place where I needed to help, and I found these tools that started to help me. Is that how you found it as well?
Do you know, it's exactly the same. My Calmer Self business developed out of my need to de-stress, and I was one of those people that just was living a 24/7 life, and it wasn't a good thing for me. It ruined my health and my mental state. And
Yeah.
so I gradually learned how to step into calmness when I needed it. And then very naturally, that turned into me wanting to help others. So I developed
Mm.
my 6-step Calmer Self method that helps people with that. And then, as I say, I had my cancer diagnosis at the end of 2022. And I
Okay.
went through about a 2-year treatment plan. So I went through 2 surgeries,
Mm.
chemotherapy, and radiotherapy. And I was so grateful that I had my calming strategies to help me with all
Yeah.
of the things that I went through. And I really realised I lent into that so much. And I really realised, for a start, how well it works, but
Mm.
also that I can now help people. I've got a better understanding of what
Yeah.
people go through when they have cancer.
Mm.
Obviously, I don't know everything, I'm not an expert, but I really
Mm.
can feel that. So, my desire as I've stepped back into my business is to really apply all of those
Mm.
calming strategies and techniques that I learn with other people so that I can help them too, because I do understand it a bit more, and that's where my sort of heart is at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. And what are the strategies? What do you use in Calmer
Mm.
Cancer?
Yes, there's a lot, but it was stepping into mindset and mindfulness,
Mm.
how we can look at things maybe in a different way.
Mm.
And really what happens a lot of the time, I found, and myself definitely, is the fear takes over.
Yeah.
Fear, panic,
Yeah.
terror, that's not too dramatic to say. Those things are there.
Mm. Yeah.
And I really, really want to show people that we don't have to live in fear all the way through it. Obviously, it's there and it's real, and I'm not putting that down for anybody, because we want
Mm.
really feeling all those feelings is part of what it's about. It is that experience. But to actually show people that we can choose to step out of that from time to
Mm.
time, and teaching them ways that they can do that. The first step in my Calmer Self method is what I call recognize and release. And that is actually to recognize when those feelings come up in you. And did you see, as I said that, my shoulders went up because we hold ourselves tight?
Mm.
So
Yeah.
recognizing how that feels for you physically and emotionally, we're all
Mm.
different. So
Yeah.
recognizing when your stress, anxiety, fear, whatever emotions come up, and then just going to yourself, okay, that's what's happening. Almost as if you can step above it, if you like,
Mm.
and then actually choose how you react to what's going on. And
Yeah.
that can be with simple breathing techniques, with some mindfulness practice, with some meditation. That I teach people how to do it for themselves. So
Yeah.
it's always there for you in the moment when you need it. And it really, really helps with things like, you've probably heard the term anxiety, when people are going for tests and that. And that anxiety is real,
Mm.
and to really help people in that way. So that's the sort of start of how I help people. But I've learned so much, and I'm just one of those people that wants to share with people what we can learn too, and helping people on a very individual level, because we all react differently to what's thrown at us, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like you said, you mentioned anxiety, and I've suffered from anxiety myself. And it just
Mm.
sounds so simple, I think, when you say, oh, yeah, this, you know, that you just need a bit of mindfulness. That, but when you're in anxiety, it's not simple at all. You
Yeah,
need to be, because you're not, there's no rational thought, there's no light at the end of the tunnel. So you need to be able to grab onto these tools that they're right at the back of your mind in amongst the panic to
yeah,
help you out. And it's not like you said, it's not something that ever stops necessarily, because with my anxiety I still have it. I just, you know, it started in my 20s. I'm now late 40s. I still have anxiety, but I just know how to manage it. So I know that when it comes up, I
mm,
just go back into my toolbox and go, right,
yeah.
this is what I'm going to do. So that's what I think. And if someone's new to anxiety through an illness diagnosis, that's another thing on top of it, isn't it, to deal with?
Yes, you're absolutely right. What I found by speaking to people, really, that it is the old patterns come back. We sometimes think
Mm,
we've learned how to deal with them, but they come back. And that is normal and that is okay. But like
mm,
you say, and I love the way that you express that, it's there, but then you
mm,
can recognize it and you know what to do with it. So again, that
mm.
takes away some of the fear and the panic because you go, oh, I know what this is. You know in yourself better. And you go, oh, I've
Mm,
got some
yeah,
tools, like you say, dig into your toolbox. And
yeah,
I
yeah.
always say to people, you know, we learn these things in a moment of calmness and peace. This is what I always say. It's a practice, like meditation and mindfulness. It's a practice. So
Yeah.
we learn them when we're in a calm state, and that's how I teach people. And
Mm,
then, like you say, when you're in that fear, panic, anxiety, when you're not really thinking, it is there. And it
yeah.
builds, the more that we actually use it, the more
Mm,
we build our confidence that we know how to change things and choose. It's your choice. And that's the thing I want to empower people to
yeah.
choose how they react to things. You know,
Mm,
yes, of course, we can be anxious, we can be panicking, fear. That saves our lives. Sometimes that's
mm,
necessary. That is what we're meant to do. Our body is looking after us when we step into these emotions.
mm,
But it's not for us to stay there. We don't
yeah.
need to be there all the time. So we can choose to step out. I've got to be honest, those feelings will probably come back, as you've said,
Mm,
you know, it sometimes is with you forever. But that's okay. If that's our personality, that's what we do, then
mm.
that is fine. But recognizing that, knowing yourself and knowing how you can actually help yourself is the key.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm.
Definitely. And you're right. I think when you say you need to learn it while you're calm, there's no
Yeah,
point trying to learn it when you're in in
no,
panic, because
yeah,
so
yeah.
what can people expect from the Calmer Cancer Relaxation Session? Like, how does it look as a kind of
It
overall?
it's good the way that I've planned it. Obviously, it will be what people want and need. You know, I'm very
Mm,
much open to what people ask me for. But the
mm,
way I'd like to say, we've got 2 hours, and I'm really looking forward to it. And what we're going to do is start with me going through some of those tips and techniques, like I've just said, so people can actually practice them in the moment, actually get the
mm,
feeling of the difference. You know, so that kind of thing. So we will start off with that. So they will be having a few little practices that they can take away and they can learn.
mm.
And then I'm going to have a little break and some refreshments. And then we're going to have what I call the lovely bit where we can get cozy and comfy. And your beautiful setting is wonderful for that, isn't it? The humble heart where we're going to be. So they can lie down on yoga mats with cushions and blankets if they want to. But for some people, that might be a bit uncomfortable. So we will have some seated
Yeah.
positions as well for people. But getting comfy and cozy and relaxing. And then I will guide everyone through a meditation, which will embed what they've just learnt, because when we're in that lovely peaceful place,
Mm,
everything goes deep and they really hold on to it, go into their heart space.
yeah.
And then actually they will, when we come back to reality, as I said, we've got 2 hours, so we're not rushing.
Yeah.
Then they'll have some of those tools. They will be there deep when they need them. They will have learnt something, maybe
Mm.
had a different mindset around things, and of course feel relaxed and refreshed. So that's what I'm hoping to give to
Yeah.
everybody.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. The meditation will help to embed it in the
Mm,
almost in the subconscious, won't it? Yeah.
yes, that's the way it goes. And some people might not have experienced that. And I know some people go, oh, you know, meditation, mindfulness, they go woo woo, you know, but it really does. It's a good,
It's amazing.
it,
We're here to tell you it's amazing.
it is amazing and it's feeling it. And this is why I like to demonstrate things because people, you can talk about it forever, but when you actually feel it, you go, oh,
Yeah.
I know. And that's my way of learning, to be honest. I'm not scientific, I'm not particularly over intelligent, but when I feel something, I go, oh yeah, get it. I get it, you know.
That's it.
So that's what I want to. I want to do the mixture of the two. So some talking, some demonstrating, sharing. Obviously, I'll be there to listen to people as well. I do find that, you know, people will have things they want
Sharing's
to share and
important.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also then, as I say, like you say, we will have that time to embed that learning, and so people can relax and enjoy. It's not about taking notes. It's not about worrying about anything. They will get the feeling, and they will have it deep in their heart when they leave. So that's the joy of it.
Lovely. And is it a session that's suitable for kind of family members, friends, or carers that want to help, I guess, because there's also that feeling of helplessness when someone you love is going through this, and you're also suffering from anxiety and fear, you know, it sort of, it affects everyone around, doesn't it?
It really does, and I've learnt that so much, Jo, through my own experience, how much the ripple effect of what I was going through really has an effect on everybody else as well. I had no idea. And sometimes, like you say, they feel helpless, they feel powerless, and actually,
and they're scared for you as well, aren't they?
they're so scared, and they're the people that don't. There is help and there's counselling available for relatives and carers and friends and family, but people, in my experience, they don't take that up. So I want to welcome everyone to come along to this session, whether you are a person going through the actual cancer yourself, diagnosis at whatever stage, even if it's like well in the past, it might be beneficial for you. But definitely for people that, anyone that's affected by cancer in their life. So friends, family, loved ones, carers, everybody. And can I just say at that point, as you've said it, although we are calling it Calmer Cancer Relaxation Session, I want to open it up to anyone with any life-changing condition, because actually there are other things out there that affect people in similar ways.
In the same,
anybody that wants to. I've had a few people say to me, I haven't got a cancer diagnosis, but I've got something else. Is it for me? And I go, yes, it is. Yeah. So don't let the title put you off.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. But yeah, I suppose the support is there because, like you say, that's your experience. That's why that feels like it resonates with you. But yeah, there is a lot of other diagnoses that would have exactly the same reaction.
They are, yeah. And it's when it changes your life, and when you have that, like you say, that feeling of helplessness and fear and panic and anxiety that comes from a life change, you know, then that is so for anybody really. So really, anybody that feels that they're drawn to it, then you would be welcome.
Yeah, lovely. And how important then is community in the kind of healing and recovery process? Because obviously you're saying that it affects a lot of people, but also I guess there's a support network as well in those people.
There really is, and I've got to say, what you've created with your wonderful humble hub in St. Leonard's, you have a couple of venues, don't you? Quite a few venues that you use for different practices.
Popping up all over the place.
Yeah, you're all over the place. I love it. You know, I love it because there is a sense of community with what you've created, and I'm so honoured to be able to step into that with you and join you in this, hoping that it will be something that we can do regularly in whatever shape or form. Yeah. So community is crucial, and I know you obviously felt that because of what you've created. Yeah. And I just feel that actually, when I talk to people, you know, I've got to be honest, it sounds a bit dramatic, but cancer is my world at the moment. You know, I'm talking to people about it and doing what I do. And actually, I love that sense of community. It's brought that feeling of belonging. And I know it might sound a bit strange, but I really love that. And when I talk to people, you know, there is a connection. There's a common ground. We're all sharing something in common. That is really valuable. I actually did, last night I did a grief workshop, and the connection with the group was amazing. You just felt it as people were sharing their stories and everything. And I also do monthly what I call cancer conversations, again in St. Leonard's. That's a community thing at Asda in St. Leonard's, where people come together, and again, they just connect, you know, without any words being said even, there's a connection. So that feeling of being part of a community, whether it's what you would choose or not, you know, we don't choose the cancer diagnosis, but it does put us in touch with other people. We support each other. And I think, you know, in society and the way we live our lives now, we have lost a bit of community, haven't we? Yeah. But as I say, what you've created there with the Humble Hub and all your wonderful practices that you put on and classes and everything, you must be feeling that sense of community coming back.
Definitely. Yeah.
And again, that's what getting involved with you, I just think it's wonderful. I don't know how this is going to grow, but it's quite exciting. And just feeling that, you know, there are these groups that I get that feeling when I put on any group session, this community.
Yeah.
And there is a need, and it's so beneficial to people, isn't it?
Absolutely, and I always say that I think there's a power in sharing. We're all on different journeys, we're all on different
Mm.
paths, we're all on different stages of the journeys. But when we start sharing our experiences, it always resonates with someone at some level. So you feel sometimes some journeys you can feel really alone. One of my journeys is with grief and that sort of thing. You can feel really, really alone, and then suddenly you come into a group, someone has similar experiences, and you feel less alone. And even that in itself is quite magical.
Yeah, it's like a big hug, isn't it? You know, when you actually just feel that there's someone else that they might just say something, you go, oh my goodness, that's how I feel. And
Yeah,
then
yeah,
you just feel, you know, that sense of just feeling that, and big, you know, I can't stress it enough, you're not alone. You know, when people feel that and really take it into their heart, then it's so comforting, isn't it? Just to
yeah.
know that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think this obviously this session will have a lot of layers. I think there'll be the tools, there'll be your experience, and then there'll be the support that comes from it.
Yeah.
And I can imagine kind of friendships forming and that sort of thing, which is also
Yes.
lovely.
Yes.
So when is the session?
This
When can
session
people
is,
join?
yes, we've got to wait a little while. It's not just yet, but we are obviously.
Yeah,
It's on the 30th of November, which is a Sunday, and I think that's quite nice. In
yeah,
the afternoon, 2 o'clock we start. We're going to go on till 4 o'clock. As I say, I don't like to rush. I like things to be very calm and
yeah.
relaxed. So we've got a nice 2 hour session, and we will have a little break halfway through so people can move around and get refreshed and then settle down to the guided meditation at the end. So that's when
Amazing.
it is. Sunday the 30th of November at the Humble Heart, which is one of your lovely venues,
Yeah.
and 2 till 4 in the afternoon.
Yes, well, that's your first one. I can see that there will be many more. And
I
obviously,
think
can
there will.
people, yeah, I think it's a really lovely thing you're
Mm.
doing. And do you think can people get in touch with you in the meantime if they've got any questions?
Yes, I would welcome that because people have already been getting in touch asking me questions, and I really
Mm.
welcome that. So to get in touch with me directly, either by email or by text is probably easiest because then I can answer when I'm free. And just ask me anything because you know, and sometimes people just want to talk to me before they come. You know,
Yeah,
people are a bit nervous and
just
anxious,
have
which
a
people
maybe,
are.
yeah,
Yeah, just have a little chat and I can answer any questions, reassure people, you know, help them. And even if they can't come on the day, they can still talk to me because, like we say,
mm.
we'll do more, won't we? So,
Yeah.
you
And you're
know,
a coach as well, so there's other avenues they could go down if they can't make the group.
exactly, yeah. There's lots of other things I can offer, but just you know, people. I find with most people when I put something on like this, you know, as I say, I did a grief workshop last night. I think there was about 13 people last night, and everyone had spoken to me before they came because they just
Yeah.
like to connect, don't they? So I'm happy
Yeah.
with that. So anyone speak to me at any time, yeah.
Perfect. And then what are you most looking forward to about the session coming up?
Do you know, for me, it's seeing that change in people. You know, they arrive, and people always arrive at things a little bit anxious, don't they? And then I will see that sort of calming and settling in as they get comfortable with the group and share, like you say, you know, and I will
Yeah.
see that. And then when people leave, I just see a different person, and that happens very quickly, actually. And that for me is the joy that I'm going to actually know that I have made a little bit of difference, and that
Yeah.
people get their confidence back a little bit and actually
Yeah.
go, yeah, I can do this. You know, I've got something. You know, I've got something
Yeah,
to
that's
take
it.
away.
So you see the strengthening.
Yeah,
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 that's
you do.
lovely.
I love that term, actually, strengthening. Yeah, because that you do. That's exactly what you see.
Resilience, I
And
think, is something that, yeah,
resilience.
that, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
building
See,
resilience, and that's for me been one of the most important words of my life. It's building
yes,
resilience.
it's a good one that I don't use often enough, but it's a really good one. So thank you for that. But it
Yeah,
is you can see that change in people, and it is that apparent. You know, I can
mm,
actually see. I know the faces of the people that arrive will be different to the faces that we leave, and I know
yeah,
that their heart will be filled up with everything. It's not just what I will be giving them. It's actually, like you say, the group connection as well. They
yeah.
will go away feeling a little bit different, like you say, got a bit more resilience, a bit more empowered, and a bit more confident. So that's lovely, and
Amazing.
relaxed, of course.
And relax, of course, because it's a relaxation session. That's what I was going to ask you next, actually. What will people take away? But I think you've answered that.
Oh dear,
Perfect.
I've jumped ahead, haven't I?
No, it's all, no. It's all good because that's really is what.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do people leave feeling
Mm,
different? And that's
mm,
it, really, isn't it? It's kind of
yeah.
it's the tools, it's the feeling, it's the empowerment, that's the really, that's the important bit.
Yeah,
So
yeah, definitely.
oh,
Definitely. They
yeah, it
really,
sounds amazing. So I hope you get lots of interest and lots of people joining and
yeah.
start building that lovely community, because that is the key, I think. And then obviously, it can build into next year, and who knows what will happen.
Yeah, I really feel that there, it will grow. People will come
Mm,
along and it will need, because unfortunately, I'd like there not to be a need for this, but cancer is there. What the statistics now are horrendous, aren't they? They're quite scary.
yeah,
So I do say, much as it sounds a bit doom and gloom, if you're not affected yourself by cancer, you will love someone who is.
yeah.
And so no one gets away with it, I'm afraid. And I had so much fear when I got my diagnosis and
Mm,
going through my treatment, that I really, really, if it was one thing I want to help to ease that fear,
yeah.
because we don't need to be scared all the time. I have faced some of my biggest fears, and I'm grateful for that, actually, that I
Mm,
had to
yeah.
face things I didn't want to. But I've come out, like you said, built my resilience. I'm stronger. I'm more confident. So that is a good thing. There's silver linings with everything, isn't there? So
There has to be, exactly. There has to be,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, there does, and we do grow. Whatever happens in life, it changes us. We grow. We
Yeah,
develop. Life
yeah.
makes you, as I say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. That's quite a cliche, but it's true, isn't it? So
Amber, yeah, definitely. So and I think that's the message, isn't it? It's kind of, whatever journey you're on, there's support for you.
yeah,
It's yeah,
yeah,
and it's
and
going to be tough, and it's going to be ups and downs, but
yeah, yeah.
take that
And
support because it's there.
exactly, emotions go up and down all the time in everyday life, anyway, don't they? We go in and out of our feelings and emotions, and I think you're absolutely right. Learning how to feel those feelings, whatever they are. That is part of what we learn, isn't it? I've
Mm.
definitely learned that over the years. And
Mm.
also, I think your point, you're not alone. Asking for help as well, that's tough for some people. But
Yeah.
asking for help, and actually that balance between giving and receiving, you're probably like me, Joe, we're one of life's givers. And
Yeah, yeah.
actually,
It's
getting
definitely
that
hard to
balance,
ask for help. Yeah.
yeah, definitely getting
Yeah.
that balance of receiving as well, and asking for help. That's a biggie, isn't it? We don't
Yeah.
sometimes want to admit we need help,
Yeah.
but asking is something important as well. So all of that,
Mm.
it's how we change and how we sort of maybe show our vulnerability sometimes, and actually go get the help that we need, because it is there. There's
Yeah.
tons there, there's tons of
Mm.
support and help there, but we don't always know, and we don't always feel comfortable asking for it. So that's what I'd like people to get more comfortable with.
Amazing. Oh, well, that's fantastic. I think that's everything that I was going to ask you. So, is there anything else you want to share before we wrap up the conversation?
I'd really just like to say, like you say, it is feeling that, maybe to say to people, like we've said already, you're not alone. To have the confidence that actually, people, you're stronger than you are, because we are really. And as I say, that kind of feeling all those feelings, not being scared. I used to be so scared of my emotions, and much
Yeah.
as some of them are really uncomfortable, they're all
Mm.
valuable. And
Yeah.
actually, to learn how to feel what we go through and everything, and come out the other side, is empowering. And that's really what I want to do for people: help them find their own way through, navigate their own way through whatever
Yeah.
life throws at them.
Yeah.
And like you say, to come out more resilient and stronger and empowered. So that's really the message I want to say to people.
Amazing. Well, yeah, I think, definitely, it's clear. So, if anyone has a need for this, yeah, exactly, we'd encourage you to get in touch with
Hmm.
Nadine and just
Yeah.
obviously have the chat first and see if it is for you.
Yes, definitely, definitely. Shall I give my email address here,
Yeah.
or it's a bit,
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
don't know if we're going to put it in the notes or something. But yes, the best way to get in touch with me is actually my Calmer Self Gmail, which is Calmer Self. That's CALMER, .self@gmail.com. That's the best way for email. And also, I'd like to point people, if that's okay, at my YouTube channel, because there's
Yeah.
tons on there. There's some guided
Mm.
meditations. There's lots about why I'm so passionate, what I do, and how I can help people. And that is Calmer Self Coach. That is what you'll find my YouTube channel under. And there's tons on there. So I urge people to have a look at that, because they'll pick up so many things there.
Amazing. All right. Well, thanks for chatting. I think it's really, really important what you're doing. And yeah,
Thank you.
I'm sending all the wishes for it to be a real,
Oh,
growth in this area, because I think, it's
yeah.
something really needed.
Thank you so much, Joe. I think between